Hey, I'm doing a video on how to fix your AC system if it's not working in a condominium. Let's see, AC wasn't blown cold, so I talked to HOA and I asked them if I could get on the roof, you know what I mean, to check and see if the AC unit or heat pump was operational, the fan was coming on, this, that, or the other, and maybe hook up gauges and, check the pressures. They would not allow me on the roof. So I thought of a way, how could I get into the system from, from the utility closet in the condo, which, as you see here, you got the air handler, you got your water heater. This is your standard utility closet for a condominium. As you probably already know, if anyone's watching this, you probably have a condo, maybe your AC is not working that well, and you're at the mercy of paying a lot of money for a licensed and general contractor to get on the roof. And at that point, you still don't know, what they're gonna tell you, if they're telling you, the truth. I'm sure there's a lot of companies out there that do a good job, but some could probably charge you an arm and a leg. So I looked online, saw the way of how to, maybe install a valve on the low side, because that's usually where you, get freon into the system, into the suction side or low side. And I found something called a bullet piercing valve, as you can see right here, that I got my low side line hooked up to. So I took apart, not really took apart, but I took it off the panel of the handler in the utility closet, and I found the low and the high side line. High side line is the small one, low side line is the large one. This bullet piercing valve was very easy to install. It's basically two halves. You clamp it onto the low side line, find out, which side. This low side line was, 3/4 inch. Got the 3/4 inch BPV bullet piercing valve. And then when you get it on, when you clamp it on there, this thing in the center, right there, has an Allen head screw with a needle, and you pierce it to puncture the pipe, and you let it back out to open the flow to your gauges. As you can see, I have this hooked up, to the gauges. High side I have closed. I don't have that hooked up to anything. And I was also able to find online, because this is an old system, R22, I was able to find a R22 tank for less than $300. This whole thing, $20 for the valve, $280 for the tank, and I had the gauges. So for $300 at least, I'm able to get in there, check some pressures and then get some freon in there. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the system on and see if we can get some stuff in there. So I'm just gonna turn this on or whatever, turn the AC on. Looks like it's coming on. You can watch this. Looks like it's dropping some, which is normal. For R22, which is the green numbers, we want something between 60 and 70 on a 90-degree day like today. Looks like we're getting down to 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the line to get some freon in there. We're gonna let that sit for a bit. Takes a little bit of time for the freon to get in there with the bullet piercing valve, because the hole is small. But yeah, my plan is to keep doing this, to keep installing the freon, the R22 freon, into the system through the low side line with the bullet piercing valve until I get a 60 to 70 reading for the PSI. And then I'm gonna put my air handler panel back on and hope that, the AC starts blowing cold. But I will say that so far, the condenser, not the condenser, the evap coil, it's already sweating, which is good. You want it to sweat. We can see that this line here is sweating as well and dripping, which is a good thing. But again, the main thing about this is, you know, how to check pressures and install freon on a condominium when you cannot, or you're not allowed access to the AC unit because it's on the roof or it's in some place that just the building will not allow you to go to, being a resident. So again, just a brief summary: access a utility closet, you know, find out what kind of freon you need. You know, newer systems 410A, this system's old, so it's 22. Get you a set of gauges, go to the low side line with a bullet piercing valve. You know, they have instructions, it's easy to install. And yeah, as you can see here, that line is starting to sweat a lot, which is good. I'm not an AC pro by any means, but I'm just trying not to get ripped off, you know what I mean, because I can't get on the roof. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps.